Hi and welcome back to SGTV. Today's episode is Quickfire Sparky Advice with Mike Page from Residual Current and Loadout. So Mike, the quickfire questions today, we're going to be talking about advice on different parts of the industry. So let's start with pricing jobs. What would be your advice for pricing jobs?
Always allow enough time. Go and look at the job if you can. Don't negotiate with smaller clients. You know, if they want a breakdown or something like that, the price is the price. I'm a firm believer of as soon as you start negotiating, you know, having to justify yourself and your time and your experience and all that sort of stuff. So I just wouldn't do it. Obviously on bigger tenders, if you're pricing a school, they'll probably want a breakdown of where the money's going. But yeah,
in your pocket.
Yeah, smaller jobs, I wouldn't provide a breakdown and I wouldn't negotiate. And yeah, just the way I do it is work out how long something's going to take, cover your materials, always mark your materials up 20%. I'm a firm believer of that because you get them discounted from the wholesalers anyway, and you're going to have to provide a warranty on them. So if something breaks or something like that, you have to go back and yeah, just make sure you've covered everything. Do you know what I mean?
That's where I'm going wrong.
But yeah, that would be in a nutshell my advice for pricing jobs.
Becoming a business owner, what would be your advice?
Just do it, you know. I've worked self-employed for 7 of the 10 years being an electrician, and I've got a separate business selling tools. And if you just do it, get on with it, you know, make the mistakes, obviously try and educate yourself on what you're doing. It generally will be okay. I think a lot of people fail by sitting there worrying, never making the leap, especially as a trade. The biggest leap would be going out on your own and starting the business. A lot of people stop there, and then, you know, once you make that initial leap, you'll work it all out, you know. You sort of pressure makes diamonds, so oh, I don't know how to do accounts, speak to an accountant, I don't know how to advertise for work, you sort of work it out. But yeah, my biggest advice would just be believe in yourself, do it, and yeah, use Google and YouTube because you can learn about pretty much anything business related on there.
So scaling and expanding your business. So a bit of an add-on from the last question. So what would your take be on this?
Know when the right time to do it is. Some people do it too quickly. Some people, wait until it's too late. That's hard to judge, but generally, if something's not broken, don't fix it. And again, if something's really broken, then it's probably too late. So that's how you would know. And the biggest advice I could probably give is, I think it's called the Peter Principle, is what it's known as. But it's basically because you're, the best electrician in the world, you've got a great reputation as an electrician and you're really, really good at it. That doesn't then make you qualified to run a business. Now, of course, you can run a small business, but if you're scaling and wanting to become, maybe a multi-million-pound company, you might not be the best fit to run the accounts or to CEO. If you go all corporate and you have an office and staff, you might not be the best qualified. You might need to get a CEO in, or someone to manage the contracts, or someone to manage the tenders, all because you've done it at a small scale. When you're a one-man band, you may be, but you might not be the most qualified person to run it all. And obviously most people struggle to release that grip and to release that control on what is their baby, but it can damage the business. I see it happen all too often, people not willing to give up responsibility.
Hiring the right people for the right jobs.
Yeah, and just letting go of some responsibility, do you know what I mean?
I'm all for letting go of responsibility. So the next one is making money as an electrician. So this is mainly why I'd imagine electricians are in the game, or anyone working for a living. So what would be your advice?
Work hard. If you're on a price, the harder you work, the quicker you work. Generally, the more money you'll make. cover your overheads. So a lot of people, they might go in and price a job forgetting they've got a van, they've got professional registration, they've got, you know, all tools, all these things. So yeah, you know, the job might have cost you 200 quid on the nose, but when you work out 10 jobs over a year, or, you know, something like that, and the cost of the tools, the fuel, the van, the insurance, the trade registration, all that sort of stuff, maybe you want to chuck on 50 quid more for every job, and that will cover, you know, example numbers, but you just want to make sure you cover that, because you could make loads of money, you get to the end of the year and you renew all your, you know, all your subscriptions, your memberships, and get some new tools, and that's all your profit gone. So yeah, I'd say cover that and just, yeah, work hard, because it is very competitive.
Right then, the next one. If a customer doesn't pay, what do you do?
I think we all know what we'd like to do in that situation, and I've been there close myself, but
Let us know in the comments section out there what you'd like to do, but let's hear a professional opinion.
You just go the right ways. So obviously garner as much evidence you can beforehand. A lot of that is just having an email trail on, you know, any correspondence you have before. Have a proper quotation with you know, what you were doing on there. If anything gets added or omitted from that, you need to amend the quotation, so that when the time comes where they don't pay, you've got a paper trail basically. If you don't do any of that stuff beforehand, then you're sort of setting yourself up, you're leaving yourself open. So that's sort of the preventative stuff you can do. You know, educate yourself on your client as well. See who they are, go and meet them, speak to other contractors maybe working on the job, and get a feel for the client as well, because if you speak to 3 other people on the job and they haven't been paid, then you know what I mean. So yeah, all that stuff can be done beforehand. If it does unfortunately get to the point where you don't get paid, then you just have to go through the small claims court. Like I say, all of that stuff that you've hopefully done beforehand will be in your favour, because you have a paper trail, you have agreements, a signed contract really helps, all that sort of stuff, and you can at least get paid for maybe not the whole job, but any, you know, damaging costs to your business by not getting paid. Don't strip it out. I know a lot of people do that, and you know, you would love to.
They make for entertaining videos on YouTube.
They do, and it's really satisfying. Not speaking from experience, obviously, but yeah, you can't do that, because you know, then they can take you to court, and then you're not going to get nothing, and it could damage your business. So yeah, just go the right way about it, small claims court, and just have a massive paper trail and systems in place to sort of to cover yourself.
Next one is gaining experience. So best way of doing that?
Yeah, so it's a tough one, because it's a lot of people want you know, a stable job, but the way I feel like I've gained a lot of experience, and what I say to a lot of people is, you know, go into sponge mode, try and absorb as much knowledge as you can, especially while you're younger, while you're learning, and just work for lots of different people. If you go and work for a domestic firm, learn as much as you can, find a mentor there that you can lean on, and then when you sort of can't learn anymore, maybe jump into a commercial firm and do the same thing. It's quite selfish. But that's the industry. You're self-employed. You are your own, you know, your own person in that respect, and just keep going until you learn everything from the commercial company. And then if you want to have a stab at maybe industrial or fire alarms, just keep rinsing and repeating. And what you'll find is you gain a lot of knowledge in different sectors. Some people will happily work for someone which is nothing like a mentor. They don't give them any sort of knowledge, and they'll just sit there because they're comfy. And yeah, it is comfy, but you might be hindering your progression as an electrician. So yeah, I'd just say work for lots of different people and find mentors. And once you can't learn anything from them, move on, unfortunately.
Okay, basic tools to get you started. I know this could be a very long one you could go on with, depending on your experience, where you are in the industry, but just you've come fresh out of college, fresh out of whichever education route.
Yeah.
What tools do you need to just get you started?
Well, for a start, they all want to be insulated. They don't have to be VDE, but it's good. But as long as they're insulated up to 1,000 volts, then you know you're just looking at. You should obviously always be working dead, but there are unknowns, and it is a building site, so you want to be insulated. No uninsulated tools. You know, just putting that out there. You'd want screwdrivers, cutters, pliers, long nose pliers, they're the basics. A set of testers, not a volt pen, they are handy, but an actual set of test lamps. Proven unit as well, definitely. That will pretty much cover you if you went and worked for anyone, and then you can get real specific, obviously. But yeah, I think those are like the basics. That's what I'd expect someone to turn up with. And then depending on sector, like you say, time in the industry, budget, all that sort of stuff, you could really flesh it out. But yeah, those would be the basics.
So that has been our quickfire Sparky advice with you, Mike. I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your knowledge and experience with our audience. It's been a pleasure to have you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I've learned a few things anyway, so it's definitely helped. But please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button below. There are more videos with Mike on our channel, so there's some ones to look out for.
Yeah, more coming up as well.
And more coming up when we're going to be going to Mike's studio and filming there, so keep an eye out for that. So anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.